Friday. We made it through another long week. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the PHNX Coyotes Podcast. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, and leave us a 5-star review. I'm Leah here with Petey and Craig. We are at the BetMGM Sportsbook in Glendale. How are you guys doing on this fine Friday?
I'm good. Staring out at the great lawn, watching the pigeons and the grackles. And that one...
The grackles. What's a grackle?
It's a bird, Petey.
Is it a bird kind
what
of
color
bird?
was that pigeon?
It was beige.
It was like tan.
It was reddish, beige,
yeah.
It was odd.
Had a bum leg, too.
Bad wheel.
Petey was going to go out there.
I did. I felt bad for the bird. What is it with us in nature in this town? Like, it's just terrible. Like, you get the lizard across the street and... Oh, it's just terrible. We don't tell the city of Scottsdale, but sometimes we put a little bit of water on in the back just so the birds can get water.
We have a fountain.
Yeah.
And they come all the time, the hummingbirds.
So we're not doing it about the grass.
I have a hummingbird feeder.
We're not doing it over the grass, HK on the grass. We want to make sure the birds and the bunnies and the lizards and everybody's got water.
It's nothing wrong with it.
It's terrible.
It's
good. It's not terrible.
Oh, man. All right. Well, it feels like so much has happened.
Good talk, Russ.
This week.
It's been. We rolled right into the draft to this thing, the free agency, then this thing. When is this going to? We keep saying, "Oh, the Hawks season's over." Bullshit. It hasn't stopped yet.
I know it's
playoffs and Stanley Cup.
Still some contracts to sign, so free agency really isn't over yet.
And is there still talk about that defenseman?
That defenseman?
Yeah, played in Minnesota.
Dumbo.
Oh, okay. Is that still a thing? He hasn't signed anywhere yet.
My wife came home the one day and say, "Have they signed that Dumbo guy yet?"
He hasn't signed anywhere yet, right?
Nope.
I think they're waiting to see if they can move the pieces in Dallas.
And as I said on the show the other day, I think the Sharks are trying to get him. They got rid of Carlson.
Yeah.
That's harder.
That's not an easy task. So I think there are a few teams that have talked to him. So,
but it may take longer than we talked about before because there's a lot of money that needs to be juggled around to make that fit.
Yep.
Except in Arizona.
We're waiting, Matt. We're ready.
It makes it clear that, look, he's trying to go to a team that maybe is, not San Jose, though. So I don't get winning. That. I don't get that.
I'll take the Coyotes over San Jose in the standings this year in my preseason poll.
Yeah.
I got the Coyotes over San Jose.
Weather, too, buddy. Taxes. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean,
cost of living. Very true.
Yep.
All right.
He does train here, too. So, just saying.
Like Petey said, it feels like a sprint. Like we sprinted. It was the draft. It was free agency over the weekend. Then it was development camp. We got and just a lot of stuff came out of development camp. A lot of it thanks to Craig for doing his reporting at development camp, and we got some clarity on the futures of Logan Cooley, André Tourigny. That story is out this morning on GoPHNX.com. Where do you want to start? Let's start with André Tourigny because we just had him on the show yesterday. If you missed that, phenomenal show, if I do say so myself. Thank you again to the Ice Den, the Coyotes PR staff for facilitating that. It was a rotating door of Coach Tourigny, Dylan Gunther, Lee Stepniak. We had all three of them on the show yesterday, and it was phenomenal. So.
Yeah, I think I want to start with syrup because I know that's what Petey wanted to talk about again today. It was good syrup. CWP, you should have tried this syrup. I'm telling you, you should try this syrup. It's really good syrup. I got a can of syrup. Leah got a can of syrup. Petey didn't take his open can of syrup. I think he passed it off to someone else. I'm not going to name names. But it's really good syrup. But anyway, André Tourigny's future. We know he's going into the last year of his contract. And I got a chance to sit down with him before the show, and he was, as usual, he was amazing. I don't know. What are your takeaways? I read the story. I wrote the story, so.
My takeaway is that he said he wants to be here.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the most important thing because I think we brought this up over the weekend, and then I think the fan base started to realize, oh shit, this is the last year. I think it was one of those where until it kind of hits you in the face, you didn't realize how important this was for this team going forward. He could have said, I'm still exploring my option, and which he is, don't get me wrong. It's not like just because he wants to be here doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen, but to me, that's the most important part. I'm glad that you pressed him on the arena situation, on all of that. It seems like that doesn't really bother him, and I really like also what he said. He's very loyal. He was extremely tenured
creature of habit,
with
right?
His Q team, in a very obscure place.
Same grocery store. He goes to the same places all the time. Yeah,
so I like that. That gave me hope and that gave me confidence. Now it's just a matter of getting pen to paper.
Yeah, and I think when you look at this, for people that are just right, you finally go, okay, you put those X's and O's together. Gosh, Toronto, the Keefe, the Doan, that's real. I mean, it's not just us sitting up here talking about the hockey world and community. People are saying, what if? And André Tourigny is he's making a name for himself out there with the players that have played for him, whether it's here or at the World Championship. He gets high praises everywhere he goes. So this isn't just a whim. One thing I'll say is I did appreciate his loyalty to here, and I do think he wants to be the guy that creates something, that this is his team, and he was here from the beginning, and they built something into a perennial playoff. I think all that is true, but you have a finite amount of time in this career, and you need to make as much money. Hate to say this, but you need to make as much money as you can while you can, because you don't know when that's going to end. So if he is going to stay here, at some point, money, it may not be the factor or the only factor, but is going to be a factor that this team has shown that sometimes they don't always put their money where their mouth is. They are going to need to do that with André Tourigny, because whether it's Toronto or another team, there are teams that will pay and even overpay for a head coach. So it will be interesting to see how negotiations go over the next several months.
Here's my take from sitting with him. I've asked that question of, I don't know how many coaches or executives or players when they're approaching free agency, do you want to be here? And you get a variety of responses. They almost always say, yeah, I want to be here. But you can hear in their tone or the words that come after that how committed they are. I really got the sense he's committed. I've had some players say it, and it's just, this is what I'm supposed to say. But they're gonna test the market, and you know it. I think if they come to André Tourigny with the proper offer, this will go fast. It will happen quickly because he is loyal. I think for the sake of the Coyotes fans and everybody who wants to see André Tourigny here, they can't come and lowball him. They can't start at a low point, because then it's
offensive.
Yeah,
too.
It's a lack of respect for what he's done. If they lowball him, they could be in trouble. If they come with a fair offer and fair term, I think this could happen very quickly.
I said this when they first signed André Tourigny out of juniors. I said this is the right guy for the right time, because he's inexpensive. He's coming with that junior mentality, and he's coming in coaching a bunch of kids in a different situation, and when they're ready to win, it will be somebody else. I'm wrong. I've reevaluated that, and now saying he's a better coach than I gave him credit for, because I didn't know him, and I didn't know how well he could get his team to play for him. It's impressive, and I think he is the right coach for the rebuild and beyond. I do think he's the guy that can pull these guys through, because the one thing I took away from the conversations we've had with him over the week is he's constantly learning and changing. And when you get a coach that doesn't change, bend, step outside the box, do things differently, they can't survive, even if they're really, really, really good, because after 8, 9, 10 training camps with the same players and the same coach, it gets tiresome and you stop hearing that voice. So hearing he changes and learns and grows, man, I really have the sense that, one, I think he'll stay, and two, I do believe he's the right guy for when they get through the rebuild.
Two thoughts on that. I mentioned this to him as well, because he cited a lot of teams when looking at the timeline for rebuild, how long it can take. It can take 5 years, 6 years. I mean, you look at a team like the Blackhawks, who took a long time, but once they were ready, it happened quickly. Other teams, it takes a lot longer. Like you said, like 9, 13 years. We don't know. We just don't know the answer to that question. So you just stay with the process. But one of the things I mentioned to him is, you look at those teams, all the teams that he mentioned that went through a rebuild, the coach that started it wasn't the coach that was there at the end.
Yep.
And that's a tough reality to face as a coach. And he said, I don't worry about it. You got to do what you do. He believes you're interviewing every day, even for your next job, because you set the tone for how you behave, how you treat other people, how you perform on the job. So he's confident that if he doesn't have a job here, he'll have a job. You have something to say. He'll have a job somewhere else.
No, and this is interesting, because I'm debating on whether I want to say it, and I'm going to. I'm taking people behind the curtain, and I just want to give my honest feelings on this. I was part of this organization for a very long time. I was in the coaches room for a very long time. I worked for a lot of coaches for a very long time. And I don't know if it was a little bit of jealousy that he was inside the room that I actually hung the TVs on and painted the walls for. I didn't believe in him. And I said no. I mean, Dave Tippett's been in this room. Dave Tippett's a coach. Wayne Gretzky, Rick Tocchet. I've been with those guys, and this guy's just a junior coach. And he's turned me around. And I don't know if it was jealousy or anger or bitterness. I don't know what the emotion was, but I said, he's going to fail here. He's not going to be able to do this. They're going to get last. they do well here because of him, not in spite of him. He has made players that have been here for a very long time better.
Mm-hmm.
He's made the atmosphere in a locker room that could be very difficult to be in a fun place to go to work. I give him more credit than he might get on the outside world, especially outside of our little bubble here in Arizona. I wish I could have worked for André Tourigny. I think it would have been a great experience for me. And that's the only thing I regret now is that I didn't get a chance to work for him. And I think after meeting him this week, I'm thoroughly impressed. And I think this organization has the right guy.
Did you have something more?
No, I was just going to read a couple comments.
Sure.
So first of all, Nicholas said, Bear is one of like 5 people in the world I'd run through a brick wall for, which Petey literally said that on the show yesterday. All-time quote. And then Nick said, I feel like we have a John Cooper, which is an interesting comparison. I feel like that's a guy who did maybe not necessarily a rebuild, but did see a timeline through and is still part of it. I mean, John Cooper.
He grew with the organization.
Yeah.
He grew with the players and the organization.
Yeah.
Well, eventually, yeah.
Yeah.
Rick Tocchet was in Tampa.
Yeah, and then the Watt said, I think GMBA knows that if he wants the team to continue, he needs Bear there because of the atmosphere he creates around the team. And I think that's the other important thing, too. If you heard from André Tourigny in your story, we don't know what Bill's thinking. We didn't ask him. It wasn't part of the story. But if Bill believes, then I feel very confident that this will get done.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and ownership has to step up, obviously.
Yeah,
but, the other interesting thing about that timeline that I talked about, and does the coach that starts it actually get to finish it? It happens so rarely. André will tell you himself, this next step, and I'm not even saying they're ready to take that next step yet, but the next step, going from where they are to playoff contender, it's much harder.
Yes.
Going from that step to being Stanley Cup contender is exponentially even harder.
Yes.
So can he take the next step with the group? Can he drive them to greater heights? He will be the first one to admit.
And that's what I want to see,
harder.
Craig. He's done this with the group of players he's been given because they have the right mental makeup and they're workers.
Yeah.
What happens when his top-end players are skill guys? And I'm not saying he doesn't have some. I mean, Clayton Keller clearly is a high-end skill guy. But what when his top 6 is the top 6? Can he motivate those guys the way he can motivate guys that are trying to rejuvenate their career, the guys that are trying to prove something, the guys with chips on their shoulders? And that's going to be the true test for him. And that's what pulls that team to the next level. I think he can do it. And that's why I did bring up Toronto, because how good can he be with good players, with a franchise with unlimited money? And you go, oh boy. So I do think that those steps are going to be very difficult. Like, this isn't an easy train ride this team is on right now, and he's the conductor, and I think he can do it. And I think he can bring the train into the station. I think this can be a perennial playoff team. I will never say that this team, you can't talk Stanley Cups. You just can't.
No.
That it's such a mythical beast is chasing that cup. You can talk about playoff and perennial playoff contenders. I don't know if we'll ever have that in our, this is a playoff Stanley Cup contender again. I don't know. Let's go playoffs.
Yeah, baby steps.
Yeah. I think another thing that was made clear this week is that there's a step forward happening here. Again, we're not quite where you just mentioned yet. Nobody expect playoffs this year. Just nobody, please. But there was a step forward taken, and we talked a bunch this week about how that's important for the core of this team. It's important for the fans. It's important for André Tourigny. And he mentioned that as well, that was a factor in his mindset moving forward. And I think a lot of fans are feeling kind of excited right now with, anything like we were at the rock bottom. Like anything feels better than 2 tank seasons. Like just cheering for wins. That's going to be a whole, like I said to Petey yesterday, like we have to rethink our entire postgame show.
I know.
Because like our whole mindset for the 2 years we've been doing PHNX is lose. And now we have to think like, all right, like what's going to be the focus? So I just think in that sense, like these last 2 weeks have been some of the most, like in terms of hockey, not business, have been some of the most monumental weeks of the Coyotes in a really long time.
Yeah, certainly of this management group. So
yeah, absolutely.
And it was necessary, right? That this is the time to start taking that next step. So we'll see.
And one more note, turning toward the future as well. I know we touched on this, but I just feel like it needs to be said again. We talked about André Tourigny's future, but Logan Cooley's future as well. That one was one that was called, into question. Somehow the rumor mill got going on that one. But again, Craig spoke to Logan Cooley, set the record straight. He wants to be here.
Yeah. I spoke to the source.
Yes.
And unfortunately, I don't think that gets done enough in this business where we actually ask the person. And listen, sometimes the person can mislead you, right? They tell you what you want to hear. But Logan went pretty in depth, and you guys got the tone of what he was saying. I mean, he found it almost laughable that people were suggesting he was going to stay 4 years of college and then become a free agent. It's like, if you know Logan Cooley, first of all, he really wanted to turn pro this year, and he came very close. And as he hinted at the end of that story, the door is not entirely closed on that possibility still. There's no chance this kid's staying in school 4 years. It's not going to happen. So unless the Coyotes trade him, and they don't want to trade him, and as he said, I'm not asking for a trade, he's going to be a Coyote.
Yeah, I think one of the things, too, it's easy to make those comments from the outside world when he's sitting in the University of Minnesota. And again, it's just
when you don't read the article, you mean?
It's just
it's easy to make comments about anything associated with the Arizona Coyotes. I got that.
I know. And people miss the irony of that.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you didn't read the article. Yeah,
that was the point.
You didn't read the article.
That was the point. I'm sorry, but that's what it's another one of those situations that they put the narrative in place before understanding the situation. You talk to this kid, there was never a feeling, and we talked to him a lot over the week. I don't like it here. I don't want to be here. There's a different excitement when you get into this development camp because these kids all have the same goal and same path. Yeah. They want to play in the National Hockey League. I don't care if he's an invite kid, a drafted kid. They all want to play in the National Hockey League. And now you start getting in that room going, oh gosh, there's other guys that want to do the same thing I do. I better start working. It's a little bit of an excitement, but it's also some competition in there that they're fighting for jobs. So I think when he sees that, plus he goes to the rink and guess who's there? Austin Matthews was at the rink this morning. His gear was hanging just down the hall from where these guys were skating, and he going, okay, I could be playing against Bill Smith at Ferris State next year, or I could be playing against Austin Matthews at Scotiabank. Oh, I mean, that starts
and
to
skating
go
with him in the summer, by the way.
Yeah, so I think that starts to expand your horizons. It's easy to say that until you're here and you really see it in front of you. And we can sit there and people can talk about Muller Arena all they want. And you heard from the head coach, you heard from the general manager. It literally is not part of what bothers their day-to-day. It doesn't come into their thinking or how they approach games or the team. I think it will be the same thing with Logan Cooley. He's a hell of a hockey player. Kid can skate, kid can play. He is going to be exciting when he gets here. I don't have the door completely closed either. So, buddy, we're talking school and classes and
you have
books.
Thoughts on this? Go ahead.
Me?
Yeah, on Logan, on what he does next.
I don't know because you saw the videos yesterday. You can check them out on our Twitter at PHNX_Coyotes. But he looked like being in the spotlight, throwing the first pitch, which we'll get to first pitches in a bit. But I don't know. He looked like he kind of was into it. I mentioned the other day that he was signing autographs for kids at the arena. Some people, and not everyone has this, some people like to be the guy and take that on. And we've seen Logan Cooley be the guy at Minnesota. But I think to be in this environment, like you mentioned, to be wearing the Kachina on the polo, to be around that.
Yeah,
it's exciting.
Like, it doesn't matter what's going on off the ice. Like when you're in that bubble, it's an NHL team. You get all the perks of being part of an NHL team, and something about that might be attractive. And listen, like the stretch right after that, the Tempe vote was like a very, very dark time like, for this organization. There was a huge dark cloud, and that it's not to say it's gone, but it has been nice just to not talk about it for a little bit because there's not really anything to say at this point. As that kind of clears, and we've spent so much time talking about hockey for 2 weeks, I don't think it's just us spending that time. I think there's others who are associated with the organization who have really just been focused on the hockey, and we've really praised the hockey side. Obviously, the business side and the arena, all that needs to follow suit. But in terms of the on-ice situation, I mean, it's going in a really positive direction and one that is exciting. And if I was Logan Cooley and I felt that I was remotely ready, I don't know, I might want to.
Yeah, and that's the big question. Like when I look at Logan Cooley's situation, I think, you know what, going back for another year might be the best thing for Logan Cooley. And again, as he said in the story, as Bob Motzko said in the story, as a lot of people will tell you, this is the thing in college. Guys don't come out. The one and dones are rare now. It's 2 years. It's even 3 years that guys will stay because they're better prepared to step right into the NHL game, bypass the AHL, and as Logan said, not just be ready, but be an impactful player. So what's best for his development might actually be to go back, but he's still thinking about it.
I would bring up one other guy. It was Connor Geekie, and I watched Connor Geekie. We walked and talked with Connor Geekie the other day, and I said something about going to Wenatchee, and he goes, I hope I never see Wenatchee. Yeah. He said, I want to make this team. Yeah. And you know what? He was 100% serious. Like, he wants to make this team. He has a desire to make this team. And so you're sitting in the locker room as you're putting on your skates. Logan Cooley and Connor Geekie sitting in the same locker room, getting ready to play in development camp today, going, oh, you think you can play here? Oh, I can play here. I can make this team. You think you're... I really believe that may be part of it, too. When you talk about two personalities, guys are like being the guy and then the spotlight, watching these two guys together on the same team, Geekie and Cooley, is going to be fun. Like, they're
driving each other.
They're going to drive each other, and they're going to. I think that, I don't want to say there's a chip on Geekie's shoulder. It's not the fair statement. I think he believes in himself.
He has a great personality.
Yes,
you get the sense. And if you haven't watched the Walking and Talking, it's on the PHNX Sports YouTube channel. But
I think those two are going to. I think those two are going to push each other, and I think that those little personalities and those people pushing each other internally in the locker room, that's what makes good teams better. Yep. Yep. So I'm really excited to see whether it's this season, next season, or the season after, when these guys are there pushing each other, and Clayton Keller's at the top and the head of the snake. There just are good things ahead. I'm telling you, they are, and it's exciting. And it starts today at 1:00. Right,
and yet they're going to stack 2 more drafts loaded with draft picks on top of what they already have, because we already know how many draft picks they have the next 2 seasons. So it's wild to think about.
I wish I could look in a crystal ball at 7 years from now.
Yeah. I barely sit down at my age and what am I going to do in 7 years? We're going to have to do the show standing up in 7 years.
Either that or you and I will be in Orca loungers.
Yeah.
With a
that's a good idea.
Demented look on our face.
More furniture chairs.
Really not
we should do the show
Leah.
Now. Sorry.
Just give us cues.
Lots of great comments as well. Can't get to them all, but just a lot of great comments about Bear, a lot of great comments about Cooley. So thank you. I'm reading them. But anything else on just anything that happened this week? Again, it's if you're listening to this live or before 1 p.m. on Friday, if you're a season ticket holder, go to the Ice Den today at 1. You can watch the Black vs. White game. Petey and Craig are going to be there.
We're going to do all sorts of evaluation, right, Petey?
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just a cool way to see these guys on the ice. And a lot of them are going to be NHL players, so it's a fun first look.
I just want to see them compete. I know the passes aren't going to be crisp, and everybody's not going to be on their game, and defensive reads are going to be poor. I just want to see guys skate, and I want to see them compete. I can't believe I'm saying this over a summer development league July game. I'm excited to see these guys play.
Yeah. Again, we're not going to take too much away.
No, but I'm excited to see them skate.
Basic things that you talk about: compete, skating, things like that. That's what I'm looking for. Like, how does a guy react in a situation? Yeah.
All right.
And I'll admit to my, sudden Artem Duda man crush. I'm really, really curious to see him play.
Hey, lots of guys to be excited about. Lee Stepniak mentioned a few again. If you missed the show yesterday, he did mention some guys. All right, moving on. I'm really excited because I know I said this yesterday, but I'm saying it again today. We have a new partner.
A new one.
A new partner.
I literally don't know what this is. I can't wait to learn.
Yeah, so I'm excited about this. So
I saw it.
Our new partner is called Wink. It's a seltzer with a wink of THC. Get it?
Oh, buddy.
How high will it get you? Just a wink. Get it?
Craig, I saw Craig's ordering right now. He just texted Tara.
I have so many questions.
Oh my goodness. It's the perfect THC CBD balance because there's an equal dose of CBD. CBD is like THC's laid back friend who keeps the party from going off the rails. So like me hosting the show, there's no third party producers. Wink is made in-house. And get ready for liftoff because Countdown is a nano-emulsion cannabis-infused beverage that delivers a sky-high blast with powerful flavor. Arizona is one of the states it's currently available in, so check out Drink Wink, that's WYNK.com, and CountdownDrink.com to utilize our drink finder to locate a store near you. You can also order directly online. Wink only, and only 2.5 milligram cans, but we're super excited to welcome Wink to the PHNX family. And this sounds right up Craig's alley.
Wow.
I'm not gonna lie.
Wink. Let's go.
And it pairs well with this other partner.
It does. Read you're gonna do. Our friends and OGs, of course. I'm actually rocking my OGs t-shirt today. This is the t-shirt that came out alongside the pink lemonade. I can't really show the back right now, but there's a really cool pink lemonade design on the back. We've been loving the new pink lemonade OG's gummy. If you haven't tried it yet, they are limited edition, so make sure you grab it before they run out. OGs, they don't miss when it comes to flavor and effect. Get your pink lemonade gummies while you can. You can check out OGs online at ogsbrands.com and on Instagram at ogsbrands. You can also find their products at your local dispensary, and you must be 21 or older to purchase. All right. Time to talk baseball. And I'm glad we have Sean DePaz on the headset, one of the co-hosts of the PHNX D-backs podcast. Logan Cooley was out at Chase Field last night. Tough game for the D-backs.
You know who wasn't at the game last night? The Diamondbacks.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll leave it at that, Sean. Sorry.
Sean is disgusting.
But if you throw the first pitch of the game, you want the team to win.
I know, that was tough.
Give him the vibe.
Tough outing.
Maybe he should have stayed on the mound for the first couple innings.
Yeah. Seriously. So Logan Cooley, he threw the first pitch. We, talked to him before, like, had he done it before? He hadn't. He didn't even play baseball. Found out. Connor Hickey was talking smack. Dylan Guenther was saying, I'm not even giving him any advice. I'm just letting him go in blind. Yeah, it was hilarious. So we thought, in honor of Logan Cooley's first pitch and the fact that Dylan Guenther's done it, and many, where did you go?
I spilled my water.
Okay. Many of the Coyotes' first round draft picks have thrown out first pitches, that we would get our baseball analytic hats on and judge these first pitches.
Oh, and we're going to judge. We're going to judge because we
have Sean to add his 2 cents because he actually knows a thing or two about baseball, unlike me, although I do recognize when a pitch is bad, probably.
Yes.
Like, very bad. Not if it's a ball or a strike, but if it's bad. I do know that. So let's start with Logan Cooley because it just happened last night. We have video of his first pitch. Thank you, Derek Montilla, by the way, for being our liaison at Chase Field.
Our former mayor.
So if you're listening on audio, head over to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel so you can catch this. But Logan Cooley, he's going out to the mound. All right, let's see his form. A little high, but he did make it to home plate. What do you guys think about Logan Cooley's pitch last night?
It was a lob. I'm just going to say it. It was a lob. That's going to be a common theme today, though, when we look at other people's first pitches, other than Victor Soderstrom.
Okay, here's what I look for. Look like you've thrown a baseball before.
I feel like he had the good form of a pitcher.
Look like a warm-up toss, right?
Yeah, it was like the first throw. You and your dad going to the back. It's the first one.
Yep.
So I don't know if he's thrown a ball all week, buddy. I would have been literally every day. Right after they get off the ice, I'm going to throw the ball because I'm not coming with heat because I might throw my shoulder up, but I'm going to throw a ball. Right. I'm going to throw a ball. It's like I put something on it. I also want to have the form. Again, I'm not going to be too critical because we're going to see a hell of a lot worse than that. It wasn't like, let's.
Yeah.
I really, DP, can I go off?
Go ahead.
What the hell is the point of the first pitch anyway? What are we doing?
I mean, it's like a ceremonial puck drop. It's just
okay. Yeah. So we're trying to recognize somebody for doing something.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. Okay, fine. I wanted that gymnastics girl does a flip.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I mean, instances like this, I feel like it's just to get Coyotes
the first
fans
pitch of the year where you start crying with the guy, the police officer, buddy.
Wait, so Sean, what did you think about Logan Cooley's pitch?
Listen, I mean, first off, that's a lot further than it looks.
That's the part that's the part that would concern me.
And B, I mean, you can't judge a first pitch by MLB pitcher standards. Like, for me, all you got to do is, as long as I would rather them lob it and get it to home plate and it be like catchable.
It can't bounce.
The strike zone is much bigger. I'll say that. It just can't bounce, and it can't.
It made it to
the catcher's got to be able to catch it.
What if you're trying to get a guy to chase a ball in the dirt, though? I mean,
that's fair. If you got a little movement on it,
can bounce.
If you got some movement on it,
it can't bounce, and the catcher shouldn't have to move, like literally run to get to the ball.
Yeah.
If he can stand in the same place, then
and he did.
And he did.
So I think it was a success.
I will come back around after listening to the baseball expert, and I will say it's a successful pitch.
I'll also say. I agree with you, though. If I found out I was doing the first pitch, I would be practicing nonstop until I was.
You know what I would do? I would say no.
It's a dream of mine to throw out a first pitch. I would love to do that.
I'll go sit in the dugout. I'll watch the thing, and thank you.
Yeah, I would be practicing too because I wouldn't want to throw a lob. That's just how I feel. I wouldn't want to throw a lob up there.
I think
this is not toss.
I think as far as I've seen way worse first pitch.
Oh yeah, no question.
Passing grade.
No question.
Yeah.
Cooley did a good job.
It's fine. It was fine.
It was fine.
It's fine.
Good job.
Hopefully he's better at hockey, which I'm sure he is.
He is.
All right, let's get to the next one, and we'll go back a year to Dylan Guenther, who was on our show yesterday talking about his first pitch experience. So we got video of Dylan Guenther's first pitch. Look, hyping up the crowd. All right. Oh, okay. That one
got
was
it there.
That one was
Got
also high. Baxter was the catcher in that one, so that's interesting.
You got it there without a bounce. I'm gonna go that. I don't know. I don't like his arm rotation.
Thank you, Dylan. You were on the show
short-armed
yesterday,
the ball a
and
little bit.
quite frankly, you were talking smack with me a couple of days
He
ago.
short-armed it.
You short-armed it, buddy.
Yeah.
It looked like your shot
Well,
put
it
in, so
looked
we're
like
going to chirp you a little.
Yeah, he
the
pushed it.
form was very off. Did he step with the wrong foot too?
Shot
Yeah, he
break.
did. It was very. But again, it goes back to guys that don't play
Off the
hardball
front
in
foot,
Canada.
You're right.
Yeah.
You don't play hardball in Canada. That's what you get.
Sorry.
And then wait till the Euros go.
So
buddy.
who was better though, Guenther or Cooley? I think Cooley was better too.
Cooley. We're just saying it, Dylan.
So we're ranking, and Cooley so far
Cooley's
is 1,
better.
Guenther's 2. But that's because we have yet.
We
to
talked about
see-
the skill level though. We just talked about, and DP made a point of, well, it's just like dropping the puck, right? How much skill does it? Walk out on red carpet and drop. Literally, gravity does it for you. Like, you can't screw that up, really. The ones that bother me on those is where they take it really
You
serious
could
and they
trip
throw
on the
it
red
down.
carpet or something. You could fall on the way out.
Yeah,
but,
Oh
yeah,
God,
yeah,
that's
like,
a nightmare.
yeah.
Yeah.
This is the content you come for, CWP.
He's questioning his life choices right now.
Yeah.
All right, let's check out the next pitch, and this one is a unique approach, and it's Victor Soderstrom.
We've seen this done before. Minnesota did this with Goose.
Yes, and Victor Soderstrom was
Goligoski.
not alone in doing the first pitch because Kyler Murray was there too.
Was he a tier 6 or a tier 7 quarterback?
I literally don't even know what that means.
There was a really stupid draft or quarterback ranking that went out.
Well, it's Will Brinson, who I know does a good job. He just doesn't think Kyler Murray's that good, apparently.
I don't know him.
Good. Kyler Murray can prove them wrong. Do we have this ready yet, Sean? Okay, no, we don't. That's okay. So Soderstrom did what Alex Goligoski did. So he did not throw out his first pitch. He used a hockey stick.
Yeah, shot the ball.
So what would you rather do?
I think for a Euro that's never thrown a ball before, that grew up playing soccer, I think that is a brilliant choice because
Maybe they could
there's
kick it.
no way that can go right for him.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
we saw I think with that you've honestly, because you've played ball hockey, so they've actually shot a ball with a stick
Yeah.
before.
That's
I think
true.
he has a much better, higher rate of success than if he has to throw the ball. And we don't have it on video, but I think we can fairly say, safe. Oh, that's it. Is that it?
Yeah, we'll just
Let's keep talking.
We'll just keep talking.
I like it. I think it's unique. I think
I
it's
do
funny,
too.
and I think you have a better chance of success, especially with the Euros.
I kind of think that's how you should do it with hockey players.
Yeah, I do too.
Just let 'em
I think
shoot.
it's a fun way.
Yeah, I do think it's
And
fun.
then, like, for your teammates, because it's like, okay, how much smack can you talk to your teammates, like throwing a ball? But you know, if you've been shooting pucks your whole life, like, you better nail
See,
it.
then you come, then you'll get guys starting to come with the heat.
It
So
almost
like a one-timer
Yeah.
coming from the top of the mound.
One timer would
Yeah.
be great.
it almost becomes like the target challenge at the All-Star
Yes.
game, but the target is the glove or like
Yes.
the strike zone.
So I don't mind it. I don't hate
know.
it.
The pressure's on. The pressure's on.
Don't hate it.
Sean, if we don't have the video, we can show the photos. Okay. What? Oh, okay. We
Okay.
did show the
Oh.
photos. All right. So we don't have the video for Soderstrom. We can post it later on Twitter, so you can judge for yourself. And we also don't have the OEL video, but we have photos, so we can hopefully judge his arm slightly here.
OEL threw a lob too. I'm just gonna say it. He basically threw the same pitch that Logan Cooley threw.
Yeah,
It was
and
like an
notice
ephus.
what too is
High
positioning.
Is he wearing jeans?
Cooley
first of all?
Cooley's on the mound. At least he had a foot on the mound.
Yeah, what's
Yeah,
OEL
where-
doing?
I don't know where
where is
OEL
he?
is.
OEL
I
does
don't-
like a relay.
If he's like halfway there,
What's he doing?
he definitely see there he is as a rookie. So he's closer to the mound. You can at least see the mound. I think when he went as a veteran, he's like, screw this.
And
I'm not
he-
even gonna make it.
Like
I'm not even
at
gonna
least
pretend.
when he was a rookie, he wore shorts. Like he wore sneakers. In the other one, he was wearing jeans.
Yeah. He clearly by
You
then
don't have good range of
he
motion.
literally HK at that point. It's like I'm done. This is I got the free jersey. I can probably get a beer or two, and I'm done.
And Sue, who was it that said they played ball?
Connor Geeky.
Yeah, it was Connor Geeky.
Connor
right?
Geeky, yeah.
So we
Like,
really
he's a
want to
real-
see
he's
Connor
legit.
Geeky throw out a first pitch.
Apparently
don't
a legit player. Like
So we wanna
according
see
to
this.
him, he was
There's
hoping.
some other guys like Lawson Krause can
Yep.
play ball.
Yep.
Christian Fisher, dearly departed Christian
Yep.
Fisher.
From
He
the
can play
Maybe he
ball.
can throw it out at the Tigers
Like
game.
I saw Lawson Krause take. I got a video from his dad of him taking BP and going yard. He can play ball.
So this
I want to see that.
this brings up another point. This is a debate, and we should next time we have the friend of the program Shane Doan on. This is a debate that raged in the Coyotes locker room for years. And I'm not joking, for years. You know how you have those we have those debates at PHNX where somebody says something absolutely stupid and would you do this
eat
for
a
that?
Guinea pig for $5,000?
Yes, things like that.
Wow,
those type of conversations. So in the Coyote locker room, it was always which professional team would be able to compete. What other sport would you be able to compete against the best against other professional athletes, i.e. the Coyotes going to play in basketball against the Suns? Or which sport would you be least embarrassed by? Would it be if the Coyotes went and played football? And you should hear that there's only one correct answer. There's one.
Is it baseball?
It's hockey.
Yeah,
you can't play hockey.
Oh, you mean
the hardest to play on any?
Oh,
hockey.
I thought you were talking about like the hockey team.
The hockey team. If they went and played baseball, and here it's funny because this isn't like an hour conversation. This goes over months. You're talking about the speed of the pitch, and we'd never. Shane Doan would say you would never get a hit ever. You would not get a hit. They would blow it by you every single time. They would make you look silly, and the only way you could ever get on base is if they walked you or you got hit by a pitch. So you could never compete. That's probably fair.
Yeah.
And he said in football, they would absolutely annihilate you. He said they're physically bigger, stronger. They would push you around. It would be comical. Basketball, he felt, would be the one that you might be able to get lucky if you could get a shot off before somebody got in your face. You might be able to get 2 points. Maybe get 2 points. But they all agreed it has to be hockey because nobody can skate.
Else.
The main skill in all of those other sports is running, and they could all run.
Yep.
Other athletes can't skate.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you remember when Larry Fitzgerald came out on the ice?
Like Larry Fitzgerald, one of the best receivers to ever play in this organization.
Supreme athlete. Ridiculous. You remember the stuff when he hung upside down and caught balls? It was insane to watch what he could do. When he stepped on the ice, Shane Doan looked at him and said, "You look like Bambi."
He couldn't skate, and it's funny because you remember when Steve Nash went out in his Suns gear and the Sun shorts and skated? I would like to see more Gronk, not Gronk.
JJ Watt.
JJ Watt can skate.
Yeah.
Right. There's a few guys who play.
Yeah, I'd love to see him on ice. By the way, that would be unbelievable. But
I wanted to get him on the show. JJ Watt loves hockey.
Do you understand what that meant?
Your mic might be cutting. That's okay.
Okay, well,
maybe
it's to hear me
a
anyway.
sign for you to
I'll stop talking.
Oh man. Well, Nicholas made a good point. The future Coyotes could probably compete on an NBA court because they're all so tall.
Fair point.
That's a good point, Nicholas. And then SZ said, best I've ever seen from a hockey player was Sidney Crosby. Threw a strike right down the middle from the rubber after the 2017 Cup. Had a bet with the team that he could do it. Sidney Crosby he played baseball in high school, and actually there's a story of him getting kicked off the baseball team. That's really funny. There's that level of compete, and it was up to his teammates to push him that far. I think that's. Am I? Here, we can share a mic.
That's okay. Have
we lost Petey?
We might. The technology said we don't need to hear.
I finally succeeded.
All right. Well, while we get that sorted out, we'll move on to talk about Weekend Binge and all of our fun Friday segments. But listen, on the drive here, it's a drive for the three of us, but luckily there's number of Circle K's across the valley, not just the valley, the country, North America. They're everywhere, and I love Circle K because they're all so consistent. Like, not only are they everywhere, they're consistent. So make sure when you stop at Circle K to fill up on gas, you go inside, grab a pour pop, grab some snacks. We got the PHNX Suns crew on the road to Vegas right now. I'm sure they're making a couple Circle K stops on the way, so make sure you're not missing out on all this great stuff. Right now, you can text PHNX to 31310 to join their SMS subscriber club and get a buy one, get one free offer on 32-ounce Polar Pops. Head to circlek.com/store-locator to find Circle K's near you. Again, if you're out driving on the roads in Arizona, make sure you're wearing sunglasses. It is very, very, very bright. This is a bright state. Some people you can get, like, when I go to Toronto, I barely take out my sunglasses because even when it's sunny, it's just not as bright. It's just bright here.
You need them right here, staring out.
Yeah, right.
Where the shady rays right now.
Yeah, luckily we have shady rays. I love mine. They literally look just like Ray-Bans, but they're like a fraction of the price and just as good quality. Amazing. We love our Shady Rays. And if you don't love them, you can return or exchange them free within 30 days. So there's no risk when you shop. We all have them. We all love them. And right now, exclusively for our listeners, Shady Rays is giving out their best deal of the season. You can go to shadyrays.com and use code PHNX for 50% off 2 or more pairs of polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 250,000 people. All right. I feel like we haven't done this in forever.
Time for Weekend Binge.
Weekend Binge. I'm going to let you
Which
start.
Lee Stempniak does not do.
No.
Because he just watches games.
Yep.
Always.
I'm going to let you start.
All right. So I started watching Silo finally, and I'm in. It's dystopian. People know what
The
this is right by now.
Was
you're deep into it. Okay.
No, I finished.
Okay. Well,
the finale was so good.
why don't you dive a little deeper into it, because I just started. But I'm
yeah,
hooked.
I've been on
I'm
Silo for Weekend Binge for a while. Basically, it's a bunch of people living in a silo underground. It's been 140 years. Nobody knows why they're there. It's illegal to know anything about what's going on outside or why they're there. And it's basically people starting to ask questions.
Mm-hmm. You don't know if you can trust your leadership, right?
Yes. Oh my gosh. Phenomenal. Yeah. I will say the first 2 episodes, money. The middle, it's like, and then it picks back up and it's phenomenal. So check out Silo, Apple TV.
Okay. One other, Jury Duty. Are you guys watching this?
I'm
watching
not,
it already?
but I've heard good things.
And Amazon Freeview.
Jury Duty was amazing.
It is. It's amazing. The premise is basically a guy shows up for jury duty, has no idea that he stepped into the middle of a fictitious
Yeah, everybody's an actor.
Everybody
the
else
judge
is
an
an
actor.
actor.
Lawyers are an
I have
actor.
no idea.
But he thinks it's real.
It's awesome.
And
It's awesome. Definitely watch it.
But did you hear that so what they did is sometimes he started to question it because they went off the rails so much that for 2 complete days, they literally had nothing but real court for 2 days just to get him to buy back into it. Can you imagine those real actors? And James Marsden, who's a real actor, is part of the jury, and he's James Marsden, the actor who got jury duty. And they had to sit there for 2 straight days of real legal arguing and briefs to pull this guy back into the illusion that, this is real, because they made so much fun of it. They go, okay, wait, something's wrong here.
It's awesome.
All right,
what do you got?
That's yours?
Yeah, those are my 2.
Love Island UK.
Oh.
I'm on episode 21. Yeah. I think the real time is on like 30 or something. So I'm actually quite close. This season, it's great. There's good drama. It's on Hulu. Watch Love Island UK. And that's all I'm going to say on Weekend Binge, every Weekend Binge segment for the next month. Love Island UK.
What do you got, Petey?
See, I'd like to come with something brand new, and I'm not going to. I'm going to go out with Black Mirror. I doubled up on episodes 1 and 2 yesterday. And I will say this for episode 2 because it takes place in Britain. Britain, is that what we say? England, United Kingdom, whatever. The accents brought me right back to I forgot I thought it was BritBox. And I'm not kidding. Because some of the actors that were in that episode are BritBox actors. And that is 100% a true story. They were in Karen Peary. The bartender was in Karen Peary. So Black Box, phenomenal. It makes you feel... Sometimes you have to take a shower after. It makes you think. It's really, really difficult. It was a difficult watch, but need to watch it. And I'll throw, we've always talked about it week after week after week. The Bear is still part of I'm in 3 or 4. I will say this. I don't need a half-hour story of each of I don't. Like the guy that went to learn the desserts over on a boat.
I love
the
that
woman.
episode.
You're wrong. Objectively wrong, Petey.
The one girl. Then the girl went around and saw. By the way, those were real chefs in Chicago because I Googled them, and she went to all these restaurants. And it was a music montage. It felt like they ran out of shit to talk about. So here, let's show 20 minutes of this with music behind it. So I hope it picks up again. That's all I'm saying. We need Richie to get involved.
Ahead,
so that's
Sean.
2, and then BritBox. BritBox.
There is a
Richie is going to get involved, and it might be the best episode of the season.
I would agree with that. It may be the best episode of the show.
He makes me uncomfortable. Anytime he's on the screen, I get uncomfortable when he's on. Like what is he going to do? Please don't open your mouth because you're going to say something wrong.
Then you might like this episode.
Yeah.
I think you'll like this episode.
Yeah.
I feel bad because I'm the only one on the PHNX crew that hasn't started on the Bear yet, but it's definitely on my list. No. But I'm glad because now I get to binge both. Where was Jury Duty streaming?
I think it's on Amazon Freebie.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
that right?
Freebie, yeah.
I never remember until
Garrett said, trying to convince my wife to watch Silo for weeks, maybe an endorsement from the PHNX crew will do the trick. I got you, Garrett. The Watt said Secret Invasion is good. Only watched 1 episode so far. Yes, Disney Plus. It's the one with Samuel L. Jackson. Yeah. So anyway, Sean, what do you got?
Whole lot of nothing. I just finished The Bear. I need to get back into Attack on Titan.
Back into what?
Attack on Titan.
A little anime. Shameless. I'm still working on that. So.
All right. Well, that's our weekend binge. Keep letting us know in the chat what you're watching, because clearly I am only watching Love Island UK. Also, The Bachelorette season 20. I'm 2 episodes into that. That's going on right now. So check that out. Obviously, we're out here at BetMGM. As you can see, we got CWP in the house off to the side here. And it's a great day to stop by BetMGM because BetMGM on Fridays, you get a free bet. And today, I believe, is the last day you can log into the BetMGM app and claim a bonus bet on the house. So make sure you do that. Literally, you just log in and they say, here you go. And then you get to use it on whatever you want. You just have a couple days to use it. So check out BetMGM. Download the app right now. Use the code PHNX. There's a few different offers depending on where you live, but for our Arizona audience, place your first bet offer and receive up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if it loses with BetMGM. Again, make sure you use that bonus code PHNX. And all of you watching now, tonight, 7 p.m., Knockout Nights Cornhole Tournament will be here on the great lawn that the 3 of us are staring at right now. Join us. It's going to be a blast. Team Pack Therapy is looking for redemption. We finally have Craig at one of these. Petey wasn't here last time. I'm hoping we can have a comeback here. So swing by.
Apparently we need it.
Yes, sorry. Swing by BetMGM out in Glendale tonight. I mean, you can see behind us the atmosphere of the sports bar. It's amazing. As for the app, you can check out the show notes for full details. And now you can listen to Shane talk about the disclaimer.
Disclaimer, 21 plus to wager. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. U.S. promotional offers not available in Washington, D.C., Mississippi, Nevada, New York, and Ontario. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Colorado, D.C., Illinois, Indiana, Louisiana, Maryland, Mississippi, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Wyoming. Call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369, New York. Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP, Arizona. 1-800-522-4700, Kansas, Nevada. 1-800-327-5050, Massachusetts. 1-800-BETS-OFF, Iowa. 1-800-270-7117 for confidential help, Michigan.
So we've been sitting here all show, and it's a tradition for us when we're at BetMGM that right at 11 a.m. when the bar opens, we get delivered Four Peaks beer. So we are waiting on Max to come. He's been sitting in his car for over an hour to come inside so we can get the beers flowing.
In fairness to Max, he's probably working a deal. So
yeah, but I'm feeling disappointed. Doesn't mean that we're not going to have Four Peaks today. I'm sure as soon as we get off our show, we'll go right to the bar to get four.
And no one can hear me.
I don't even know what that means. So are you just going to leave? Okay.
I think Petey just made an obscene gesture on the show and left.
Oh, you just went and sat down. All right, that's fine. We'll order you your Four Peaks, Petey. And for those of you who are stopping by later, make sure you order Four Peaks here at BetMGM. Four Peaks is on tap pretty much anywhere you go in the Valley. You can also buy it wherever you buy your beer. You can check out at Four Peaks Brew or at Four Peaks Pub to keep up with the latest. Arizona's hometown brewery. Must be 21 or older to drink Four Peaks, and please drink responsibly. Petey has literally had enough of us.
He's sitting right there.
Yep.
Sitting dead in front of us.
He's had enough of us. We were in Nashville together for 5 straight days. Then we talked on Saturday on the emergency show for free agency, and then we spent like pretty much all day, every day together this week. I think he's done.
It looks like it.
I think Petey.
He's not even.
I think Petey unplugged his mic, and this was actually like his plan all along. His plan all along. Any final thoughts, Craig?
No, just looking forward to going over to development camp, watching the scrimmage. Like Petey said, like I said too, it's not evaluation, but there's some things that I want to look for. There are a handful of players that I just want to sort of get a feel for their game. So I'm looking forward to this. And literally, this is like the last event we're going to have organized by the Coyotes for a long time until we get to rookie camp. There's nothing going on.
That's crazy. But
yeah,
regardless, we'll still have 5 days a week of live shows. Did we mention our guest on Monday yet?
Yeah, Jason Demers.
In studio joining us. So really looking forward to having him in studio. And yeah, like we said, 5 shows a week. We're live Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. for the most part. So be sure to subscribe to the PHNX Sports YouTube channel, hit the notification bell so you never miss when we go live, and become a diehard. You get access to our Discord, which welcome to all the new diehards in the Discord, or all the existing diehards who just joined the Discord. I think you
we got
putting
some of both. Yeah.
I think you putting a trade or like Matt Dumba, that drove a lot of people to the Discord. So we might have to keep,
what did we miss?
We might have to keep doing insider stuff like that. That was awesome. You also get to read Craig's diehard only pieces, one yesterday on Maverick Lamoureux at gophnx.com, and you can also grab yourself a free shirt or hat at sign up and get 20% off merchandise and events when you're a diehard. So lots of great perks. Petey, do you have anything else to say?
No, I'm going to watch hockey too, but I want to do a Discord, like I don't know, it's a StreamYard or a Zoom where we sit and do like insider, like we did it during the Nashville thing where we told inside stories that nobody can share and they swore into secrecy. I want to do that on Zoom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're going to start doing like diehard happy hours soon. There's actually a way you can do it on Discord. So coming soon. Another great reason to be a diehard. Thank you everybody for watching or listening. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit the like button on this video. It really helps us out, means a lot to us as well. And if you're listening on audio, please leave us a review. It's been a busy week, but we appreciate everyone's support. And again, thank you to everyone this week for coming on our show, talking to us, Coyotes PR for facilitating. It's just been phenomenal. And if you're headed out to the Ice Den today, you'll see these two there, but if you're heading to BetMGM, you'll see all three of us. So looking forward to the rest of today. Come on down to BetMGM. I'm excited to get a beer and some food right now. What a week it's been. What a week next week will be. And then we got 2 months until anything happens. But who knows what can happen between now and then.
There may be some signings, right? There's still some RFAs out there, and Matt Dunn was still out there, so we'll see.
There's a lot still up in the air. Well, everybody enjoy the rest of your Friday. Enjoy your weekend. Follow us on Twitter at SPetersHockey, at Leah Merrill, at Craig S. Morgan, at Sean _
Should they follow us on Threads?
You can follow us on Threads too if you
can
want.
Find us.
At PHNX _ Coyotes on Twitter and Threads. But everyone, like I said, enjoy your Friday, enjoy your weekend, and we will see you on Monday.